There's a particularly brutal but surgically precise joke that circulates in certain intellectual circles. Let's not ask what the majority thinks just yet. First, let's quietly remove the "do not drink" label from bottles of bleach, wait a couple of years, and then go ask for their opinion. At first glance it sounds like pure misanthropy. In reality it's a very dark but accurate social diagnosis. We live in the age of total paternalism, a system in which the state and institutions have turned into overprotective nannies, wrapping every corner of reality in soft foam padding. The problem is, when the world becomes too safe for stupidity, stupidity starts running the world. Excessive paternalism creates the perfect incubator for the Dunning-Kruger effect. When the system constantly shields people from the consequences of their own bad decisions, the ability to realistically assess one's own competence simply atrophies. If you can put your cat in the microwave, then successfully sue the manufacturer for millions, because the manual didn't explicitly say, "no cats," you develop a very convincing illusion of your own correctness and invulnerability. The result is a majority made up of people who sincerely believe their hot take on quantum physics, monetary policy, or epidemiology is just as valid as an expert's opinion. They don't know that they don't know, because life has always come with a clear instruction manual and a safety net underneath. This is what the dictatorship of incompetence looks like. Ignorance, reinforced and subsidized by the state, gets the right to dictate the future of the nation. But paternalism isn't only about care, it's also an extremely powerful instrument of control. All those ubiquitous signs, disclaimers, and giant warning labels aren't always about genuine safety. Very often they are tools of manipulation. Cynical politicians and populist leaders figured it out very quickly. Once people get used to trusting labels more than their own eyes, nose, and common sense, you can simply change the stickers. They slap "poison" on anything inconvenient: free speech, market reforms, political opponents. They put "safe and healthy" stickers on the most destructive policies: endless deficit spending, erosion of civil liberties, printing money until inflation roars. A person trained to live by the manual doesn't check what's actually inside the bottle. If the label says, "this will save you," they drink, even if the bottle is filled with concentrated lies. We've largely unlearned how to smell reality because we've been taught to trust the signage instead. Here we reach the most painful question of our time. Every civilized society has people who genuinely cannot be held fully responsible for themselves, those with severe intellectual disabilities, profound physical impairments, very young children. Caring for them is a matter of basic human decency. But the paternalistic society has committed a nasty moral sleight of hand. It has deliberately conflated those truly vulnerable people with millions of healthy, capable, but simply willfully lazy adults. When large groups insist that positive vibes, conspiracy theories about 5G, or refusing basic education will somehow protect them better than engineering and medicine, and the system keeps subsidizing and normalizing this worldview, it treats those adults like permanent children. It essentially tells them, "We don't expect adult responsibility from you. Stay in your safe daycare bubble, we'll keep buying the snacks and building the padded walls." This approach insults both the genuinely disabled and the able-bodied. It preserves ignorance as a lifestyle and creates massive social strata that exist outside physical reality, where wishful thinking is supposed to overrule gravity, ballistics, or basic arithmetic. Demanding natural consequences isn't a call for cruelty. It's a demand to return dignity to people through actual responsibility. The bleach method in politics would mean that stupid collective choices finally carry a tangible personal price for the people who made them. The bleach method in everyday life means we stop bubble wrapping the world and start saying out loud. If you refuse to learn basic personal finance, don't be surprised when you stay broke. If you deny basic physics and engineering, don't expect bridges to hold or planes to stay in the air just because you believe really hard. It's time to admit the obvious: the dictatorship of incompetence will only collapse when we stop rewarding voluntary ignorance. We need a society of adults who can read the fine print of life without needing a government-approved translator. A nation only grows up when it finally bruises itself against the sharp corners of reality. Time to tear off the fake labels, stop believing the warning stickers, and start trusting our own minds again. Otherwise we will all, very calmly and democratically, drink the poison. Just because someone on cable news or in Congress slapped a holy healing water sticker on the bottle.